My name is Javier. I'm a senior case worker here at Latitude Law, and in this video we're going to discuss the seasonal worker visa. So the seasonal worker visa is for workers that are abroad, that are outside the UK, and they want to come to the UK and they want to work in the horticulture or poultry sectors and do seasonal work on those sectors. Basically, you will need a sponsor who is in an approved scheme operator and has a valid sponsorship license to bring seasonal workers. They will issue you a certificate of sponsorship, and with that certificate of sponsorship you will be able to, and provided that you meet the rest of the criteria, you will be able to come to UK and work in seasonal work. So the first thing you need to know is that you can apply, the earlier you can apply to the scheme, to the visa, is 3 months before the start date of your work. So 3 months before the start date that is in your certificate of sponsorship. Within those 3 months you can make the visa application, but the maximum time you can stay in the UK under a seasonal worker sponsorship is for 6 months if it's in horticulture, and if you're working in a poultry farm, you can only be in the UK from 2nd of October to 31st December. Then how can we help with this kind of application? We can provide you with expert support to ensure that the right documents and the right information is provided to the Home Office, and basically take out the stress off your shoulder and just put it into hours. I will now explain a little bit what are the requirements of this visa. They are really simple. You need to be over 18 years old, you need to be offered an employment for an approved sponsor, and you need to have enough money to support yourself in the UK. You need to meet the financial requirement. Your sponsor, I said it before, but your sponsor needs to have a valid sponsorship license. It needs to be an A-rated approved scheme operator. This is how the Home Office calls it, within the UK's horticultural or poultry production sectors. And they must assign you a certificate of sponsorship. And then with that you can, as I was saying, you can just apply for the visa. So the maximum is 6 months for horticulture, poultry sector, from the 2nd of October, 31st December every year. And you are only permitted to work in the role you have been sponsored for. You cannot work in anything else. And if your application is refused, you can do a fresh application, you can apply for an administrative review, but there is no right of appeal. So the eligible roles in our website, we will leave a link in the description to our article. You will see the different roles and job titles that are eligible for a seasonal worker visa. But just to give you some examples, you can work in field vegetables, in soft fruit, top fruit, then in the poultry fields. You can work in hardy ornamental nursery stock, things like that, poultry meat packer, poultry vaccinator. Yeah, basically there is a lot of titles related to poultry farms and horticulture. So yeah, feel free to check our website or the WeChat website and make sure that the job title is correct. And yeah, you are, when this time finishes, when this 6 months period finishes, you will need to return to your country, or in poultry after the 31st of December. And you can always reapply if you want to come next year and do again seasonal work, but you will be subject to a 6 months cooling off period. So you cannot be, for example, if you work in horticulture, you can be here for 6 months, then you can return to your country, wait for 6 months, and then reapply again and come again. In the poultry work is even easier because you can only do it on October to December. So yeah, provided that you meet the criteria, you should be able to come every year if you are interested in doing so. Something that is really important to consider is that you cannot bring dependents on this visa. So your partner, I said it before, but your partner, children will need to stay in your country of residence. But yeah, if you have been offered seasonal work, or you are looking for advice on this type of fruit, or any issues you might have with it, any questions, feel free to reach out on the contact details you will see here. Thank you very much.